Hi, welcome back to Bases to Bleachers. If you're a baseball fan, then you know that the baseball world, and particularly San Francisco fans, have suffered a couple of pretty significant losses in the last couple of weeks. We saw the passing of both Willie Mays, the Say Hey Kid, and Orlando Cepeda, the Baby Bull. Today, in their honor, I'm going to read a couple of stories from my books that pay tribute to them. The first story is from Backyards to Ballparks in the chapter titled My First Game, and the story contributor is Tim Wilson from San Francisco, California. I saw my first game on June 10th, 1970, when I was 7 years old. It was the Pittsburgh Pirates versus the San Francisco Giants at Candlestick Park in a game featuring 5 future Hall of Famers: Mays, McCovey, Perry, Stargell, and Clemente. A sixth, Juan Marichal, didn't pitch that day. My dad is from Canada and hates cold weather. I'm sure he picked this one because it was a day game. Candlestick at night was not a place he would go, but that afternoon the whole family was in tow. Mom, Dad, my older sisters Lori and Christy, and me. We started the day in the cheap seats, but had moved down behind home plate by the 8th inning when the game was tied 2-2. Lori asked what happens if the game ends in a tie. Dad explained there would be extra innings, because baseball games don't end in ties. This information was received with much consternation, moaning and groaning from my sisters. They were done and they wanted to go home. I told Dad not to worry. Mays was up first in the bottom of the 8th, and he wanted to go home too. He was sure to hit a home run. Dad started to tell me that baseball didn't work that way, that even Willie Mays couldn't hit a home run anytime he wanted. Mid-explanation, there was a mighty crack from Willie's bat, and the ball flew over the fence and into the bleachers for a home run. The Giants went on to score a second run that inning on a homer by Ken Henderson. The final score was 4-2 Giants, and my sisters were spared the agony of extra innings. I was a fan for life. About 40 years later, I met Mays, and I told him the story, that in my first game he hit a homer in the 8th to break a 2-2 tie. "Bob Moose," Willie said. "They said I was no good in 1970. I assured him that in my eyes at the time and now, he was the greatest. I'm still amazed that he was able to name the pitcher he'd hit that home run off of, one of 660 lifetime homers, with so little information. I'm still a Giants fan today, thanks to Willie." Again, that's Tim Wilson. The second story is from the first book, Bases to Bleachers. It's from the chapter that is called Ushers, Vendors, and Ball Boys, Oh My, and it's from my daughter, Rachel Gray. I was 17 years old, in my 3rd year as a guest services staff member for the San Francisco Giants. I was serving as a press elevator operator, which in a way sounds dull, but it gave me a great opportunity to meet famous people. One day, one of those celebrities rode up and down several times, and finally, he looked at me and said in a deep but friendly voice, "Hello, my name is Orlando," long pause, "Cepeda." I looked at him and I smiled sheepishly. And then with a big ear-to-ear smile on my face, I said, "I know who you are." He replied, "And what's your name?" I looked at him for what seemed like hours, although probably only 10 seconds, and nothing came out of my mouth. I finally looked at my name tag and said, "Rachel." Ever since then, he just calls me baby. Again, that's Rachel Gray in San Francisco. And the 2 stories about the legends that the baseball world has lost this last week. If you're not a subscriber to Bases to Bleachers, please subscribe and then click on the bell so that you will receive notifications when I post more videos. If you like the story, please click like, comment, and share. And until next time, thanks, and see you on Bases to Bleachers.